That's on the green. That's
No.
Oh, yeah.
Almost. Got it.
Oh!
That's number 5. There's something really difficult, but it's like...
Come on. Come on. There you go.
Oh, what a shot.
oh!
Hey everyone, welcome to the start of my video series documenting my return to golf. I mentioned this in my Swinley Forest videos, and I'm finally putting it into action. I hope my journey provides optimism for anyone facing similar challenges. Feel free to ask questions or offer suggestions. Now, let's get into it. 2 years ago, I was in peak physical shape. At 6'1" and 180 pounds, I was lifting weights 4 times a week, rock climbing, and golfing whenever I could. I had just completed my PhD and was making the most of my time before starting my first job. My golf game was at its best. I had lowered my handicap down to 2 and played some of my best rounds at Centennial and Pound Ridge, 2 of the toughest courses I had encountered. I even won the Centennial Triple Crown, a 27-hole best ball tournament, finishing 7 under par with my friend Nick. I had dreams of moving to California, playing even more golf, and finally reaching a scratch handicap, a goal that felt closer than ever. Everything changed on June 10th, 2023. I woke up with mild stiffness in my lower back, but didn't think too much of it. I went to the gym for a lower body workout, one I'd done many times, and started with barbell squatting, completing 3 sets of 8 reps at 225 pounds. As soon as I re-racked the weights, I knew something was wrong. Attempting my next exercise, single leg curls, I felt pain even while lying on the machine, and I decided to go home, assuming I had pulled a muscle, a discomfort I had experienced before, as well as many others, and I'd expected it to heal in about a week. 2 days after the fact, the sciatica set in. The sharp pain had subsided, but a deep ache spread through my right glute, hamstring, and calf. Any movement involving flexion was unbearable. Having dealt with a similar injury a year prior, I tried the physical therapy exercises that had previously helped, but they provided little relief. With a cross-country move to California and a new job looming, I pushed through as best I could. And on August 3rd, I was diagnosed with a moderate L5-S1 disc herniation. Fortunately, I had no weakness or numbness, but my mobility was severely limited. The doctor prescribed prednisone and referred me to a physical therapist, hopeful that conservative treatment would suffice. Physical therapy provided some relief, and by December, I was able to lift light weights and even return to the driving range. My progress was slow, but I managed to play 9 holes in the end of November, the first time since July. And although my swing was off, I found some success and even posted a career best round of 69 a few weeks later, lowering my handicap to 1.5. However, my symptoms worsened at the start of 2024. My pain levels fluctuated due to illness and gym-related flares, making golf frustrating. My handicap rose to a 5 as I struggled with consistency. In February, I visited my friend Nick, a golf content creator in Arizona.
So Nick has this putt for birdie after making a horrible double in the last hole. And he missed. Also, for some reason, there's a donkey.
We played multiple rounds, and while I didn't score particularly well, the relief that my pain didn't worsen after prolonged golfing and travel was encouraging. I also signed up for the Northern California Golf Association Match Play Challenge, winning my first round match in March. And then I caught the flu from a coworker, and while battling a high fever, I fainted in the bathroom, hitting my head and requiring 4 staples. My mom was kind enough to fly out to take care of me, and after recovering, I resumed golf and work. At this point, I decided to get an MRI, which confirmed the herniation. I was considering more aggressive treatments since the flu and subsequent head injury had set my progress back significantly. Sitting, and particularly driving, became significantly more painful again, kind of like in the early days in July. In April, I played around, but walked off the course after 3 holes, sensing something was wrong. At home, after lying down for about 10 minutes, I stood up and realized I had re-herniated the disc. The pain was excruciating, and my doctor brought up the possibility of permanent lifestyle changes. The idea of giving up golf was devastating, but I knew I had to focus on recovery. 2 epidural steroid injections later, I had some temporary relief, but didn't resolve any of the mobility issues since my most recent reherniation. I met with a surgeon and scheduled a microdiscectomy for August 16th. In the meantime, I focused on core strengthening and flexibility in preparation for the surgery. The procedure involved a small incision to remove the part of the disc compressing my S1 nerve root. And despite my nerves, I woke up feeling immediate relief. Most of my sciatica was gone, and I was up and walking 2 hours after the surgery and discharged same day. My mom stayed with me for over a week, and we even went on a 3-mile hike before she left. My initial recovery went so smoothly, and at 6 weeks post-op, my surgeon cleared me for more intense physical therapy and exercise again.
All right, here's your split squat. You're gonna have the front leg flat, find the knuckle of your big toe, back leg on tiptoe. You got 15 pounds bilateral. Make sure you keep your back relaxed. You're gonna drop directly down about 75% of the way. So meaning that you have about like 8 inches above the floor with that back leg, that back knee.
I very cautiously restarted my core workouts and began weight training again. 3 months post-op, my sciatica began returning. A new MRI in December showed a much smaller reherniation at the same level. The plan was to manage it with physical therapy and NSAIDs, hoping it would reabsorb naturally. And by mid-January of 2025, most of the pain had subsided, and I was steadily increasing my workout intensity. Each week, I was adding more exercises, weight, or reps, and I felt optimistic about returning to my normal activities. However, I had lost a lot of strength. While I'm still 6'1", my weight had dropped to 170 pounds, making it even more challenging to regain the fitness I once had. I'm starting these vlogs to document my journey back to a low single-digit handicap, and maybe, hopefully, even scratch. The 2025 Match Play Challenge begins in April, and my goal is to not just participate, but to be competitive. Writing the script has helped me process the past 2 years, and I'm excited, although daunted, to return to the course after my longest break from golf ever. I don't know exactly what this video series will evolve into, but I plan to record practice sessions, range work, and highlight some holes. With a full-time job, I likely won't film the full 18-hole rounds that I usually do, but anything is possible. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to sharing my journey back to the game I love. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and any and all feedback is super appreciated.